This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
I think we can call him a friend of the show.
Oh, I'd like to think so. He'll say otherwise, but we'd say yes.
A new season of Who Do You Think You Are premieres on... Oh, it's already on. But his episode's coming up on Tuesday on SBS. The one and only Tom Gleeson, delving into your ancestral past. Hello.
Yeah, hi there. I just thought instead of doing Ancestry.com, I just use a major government-funded network to do the work for me.
No, this is great.
They would pay me, and it would just be an absolute rip-off. It's the best.
Yeah, no, it's great. Well, it's your tax money going towards you paying yourself.
I just did it because I thought my mother wants to look into our family history, so I thought... Instead of me going through all the bother of going on journeys and trips with her, I can just sit her down and say, here's SBS, watch it.
Yeah, and Tom, looking at the episode, this is hectic. You have convicts and thieves in your ancestry?
Yeah, of course you do. Look at you.
Yeah, well, I was worried at first they wouldn't do it because on my father's side, the history's quite boring. Basically, Roger Gleeson got hungry in Ireland because there were no potatoes, moved to Australia. He had a son called John. John had a son called Tom. Tom had a son called James. James had me and I'm Tom. That's it. Long line of hungry Gleesons, nothing to really talk about. On my mother's side, oh my God, it's just like, they're a bunch of absolute rat bags. I've got so many dodgy ancestors, it's ridiculous.
Hey, Tom, was it a good feeling finding out all these stories with, the story upon story on that side of the family?
Yeah, well, it was exciting. I mean, because I always thought our history was boring because, I'm of the generation that my grandmother pretended that all that didn't happen.
Yes.
And she probably didn't get told those stories because it was something to be embarrassed about. Whereas now, we've got true crime podcasts.
Yes.
This is all very exciting. To find out that your ancestors could have been involved in a murder is great stuff.
Yeah, a convict past is actually like a badge of honour these days as an Australian, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And the part that I enjoyed the most was one of my 4 times great-grandfather, he was essentially went and chased down 2 dudes and shot them. And it just sounds like the Wild West. It just sounds so exciting.
They were baddies, though, weren't they? They were bushrangers, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it was good old days when you could just settle scores yourself. Well, I mean, I guess you can now, but you have to do jail time.
Sure.
It didn't seem like that in the olden days.
No.
So Rove did this many years ago.
Yes, he did.
And around our family...
Didn't they try to stop the episode? They didn't want it to happen?
Well, there were some of my aunties and stuff were like, oh, no, because it portrays their great-grandfather in a really bad light. But that's what you're saying. That's the exciting part. I mean, times are different.
I'm not, they're different people to me. I share DNA with them.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, I don't put too much meaning into it. I found out that one of my ancestors probably turned to prostitution for a couple of years to earn money. But luckily, in current times, that's called sex work, and I work at the ABC, and I'm told that it's a noble profession.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nat?
How is your mum? No, I'm only joking.
This is great.
Yeah, it is. Did you get to go in it? Because, I mean, part of the fun of this show is that sometimes, you've got to go back to Ireland to uncover your Irish roots or whatever. Did you get to go anywhere?
Well, once you leave your home, you go on a journey and you don't come back. Like that, you don't you don't go out and film a bit and then come home.
Yes.
Once you hit the road, you hit the road.
Do you?
And on the first day, I said, look, just level it with me. Don't make me carry around my passport if I don't need it. And spoiler alert, I did not need it. I did not get. I mean, I think the first place we found was like an hour away from our home, and I'm staying in a bloody motor inn on the side of the highway. And I thought, this is
it's like, we're off to Ballarat. Great.
How long did it take then, Tom, to film?
It took about 10 days I was on the road.
Shit.
But I did not get a trip to Ireland, which was... But, I mean, I think they've done that so many times, they're sick of talking about the potato famine, so they had to find something else.
I mean, I think Sean McAuliffe got to go to Malta, didn't he?
Yeah, I know he did. And also, Sean, I saw his episode. I really enjoyed it. It was quite heartfelt. He ended up crying like a big sook, let's be honest. I did not do that.
So no tears from Gleeson, okay. So we know what to expect.
No, I held them in. I tried really hard at one point. I was even a bit hungover. I thought, I'm right on the precipice here, but then nothing came out because I think I might be dead inside.
You think? Yeah. Well, we can't wait to delve into the Gleeson family and find out all about you on Tuesday night, SBS 7:30. Thank you so much, Tom. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Of course, we're all very closely watching events unfolding in the Middle East, and especially as invested as I am, because I am due to fly via Dubai to Turkey, which borders Iran, next Friday.
And don't forget, Trump just came out saying this.
They don't know what the they're doing.
Yeah,
you understand that?
Yeah.
But that wasn't the Middle East, that was here. And so we go,
That's us.
We took that
finally he said something that makes sense.
a bit personally. And then, of course, so if we skip back 24 hours to when Iran was bombing Doha.
Yes.
So bombing a US base in Qatar. Qatar's a very small country. Doha is just up the road from Dubai. Doha is also where flights that are on Qatar Airlines, they stop over in Doha. So that airspace was closed. But our hearts went out to the Qantas flight that was direct from Perth to Charles de Gaulle Airport, which is Paris. So there's a direct service.
Yes.
And they were on their way. And 7.5 hours in, they had to turn around and come back again.
7.5 hours.
So that is, if you double that, that's 15 hours in the air and you haven't gone anywhere.
So they came all the way back to Perth.
Yeah, because because there was so much uncertainty and they were going to have to fly right over the top of it.
That is, and so they would have got an announcement halfway through.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
And if you're the person like me, a bit of a nerd who watches the map, I like to watch the map every now and then.
Okay.
And you'd be looking at the map and just going, where's
That's
just on a U-turn?
Yeah, and I saw
7.5 hours. How far you reckon you get in 7.5 hours as past Singapore and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah, so you're not going...
You're not going that way.
No, you're not going that way. So you'd be probably...
You turn left at the lights?
Probably over the Maldives, maybe?
And it's,
yes.
So 14 hours and they're in the same spot they
15
left
hours.
15 hours ago.
And then they rock up and they're home.
How would you feel if you're on that flight before you knew it was...
Well, I've been close to this happening to me. So 2 years ago, I was heading over and I was on the direct flight from Perth to London. And then I was getting a connection to Copenhagen to go and visit my cousin that lives in Denmark, Princess Mary.
Yes, of course. Remember.
That's what I tell everyone. And then we were 3.5 hours into that flight and the pilot came on and said... There he is. And he said, we're terribly sorry. We have a medical emergency on board. We're returning to Perth. And we did the U-turn. And then we're going. And then so I'm they'd just served dinner. So everybody was starting to settle into for the night, essentially, because by then it was about 10:30 at night and getting close to 11 o'clock. And we were all like, oh, this is awful. But there were quite a few people who decided that they were going to get through this flight because it's tough in economy. And I was down the back with them.
What were you doing there?
I know, I don't know. It was
Lose your
an
keys?
error of I'd asked for an upgrade, don't worry. Missed out, it was full. And they pop a sleeping pill to help them get through.
Yeah.
And of course, then what happened? So we were going to return to Perth, and which would have been 7 hours in the air and not going anywhere. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to go home and wake up my house sitter who's looking at, and it's a lot to explain, and a lot of unknown because I've got onward flights and all this sort of stuff. And then we ended up in Singapore because the passenger who was having the medical episode had deteriorated, and luckily for him, he did survive. So this, nobody begrudged it. It literally saved his life, and the fact that business class on that particular flight was full of doctors going on their Euro vacay. He was in great hands.
Yeah, okay.
So it was a happy ending ultimately. But we were then stranded. So we arrived in the middle of the night in Singapore. Everybody who'd popped their pills were literally dazed and confused. They didn't know what was going on. They thought they were going to be waking up in London. And all of a sudden they're in a airport lounge at Changi Airport and being sort of bundled onto buses and sent off to accommodation. And they did a great job of accommodating us in the middle of the night. It was incredible the way they actually operated and mobilised and got everybody up and going. But it was a very long day. And at the end of it, then we didn't leave Singapore until 11:30 the following night, that night. So we had pretty much 24 hours in Singapore.
Sometimes you got to turn back.
I know.
Whatever
But
reason.
15 hours, 7.5 hours in.
Yeah, I mean, once you knew why, I'm sure you
That's right, because they didn't want to fly over war.
Yeah.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
There's nothing more frustrating than when you're on your way and then for whatever reason, you have to turn around and go back again. That's what we're talking about, inspired by the flight that was headed to Paris direct from Perth, 7.5 hours in, turned around and all the way back again. So 15 hours of flying to be no closer to your destination at the end of it.
I don't have patience. So I would lose my bloody mind. I really would. Find it very difficult.
I know. These things happen when war breaks out while
That's
you're in
true.
the air. Extraordinary. Tom's in North Perth. Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, Tom.
Good, buddy. Have you been turned around? What happened?
Oh, basically, back in the UK, the family's supposed to go into Gran Canaria, or one of the Canary Islands.
Yes.
About to get on the plane, setting off, and a volcano erupts in the middle of Gran Canaria, I think it was.
Oh.
Bad
So all flights
timing.
got grounded. Yeah, it was a bloody nightmare.
How did you feel? Because, I mean, like, you can't really be angry at an inanimate volcano. You can be, I guess.
Nah, I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get to see it, to be honest. I wanted to see it from the plane.
Yeah. Yeah, right. As the plane's engulfed in a cloud of ash. But
okay, that's
yeah.
really good
yeah.
for the engines.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it once.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's
Did you get to go on the holiday, or was the whole holiday cancelled?
Whole holiday cancelled,
Yeah.
flights across Europe got grounded. I had to wait until the next following week, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
lucky you with
that's
EasyJet because there's another £10 and then you're off again.
it. Good times. Thanks, Tom. Jay's in Ellenbrook. Morning, Jay.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good, Jay.
Buddy. Now, when did you have to turn around?
So a few years ago, I thought I'll take the family to go and see where I grew up in Bridgetown. So
Lovely.
we planned a little nice, staycay down there.
Yep.
Drive down, and the kids have both forgotten the comforters.
Oh, no.
Is that like a pillow or a teddy bear?
No, a blanket, a little blanket that they have,
Yeah.
Yes.
and they cannot sleep without them.
Yes.
So I dropped them off at the chalets, drove all the way back to Ellenbrook to grab 2 blankets, and then drove back.
Oh, Jay, you're a great
Jay.
dad, but how annoying.
So what is it? It's
And
about
that's a
3 hours to
3 and a-
Bridgetown?
Yeah, about 3 hours, 3.5 hour trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was nice and fun. But
So you
know,
went
I
down,
thought that-
back and down again. So that's 9,
Yeah.
10
10
and a half hours.
And I have a feeling somebody would have blamed you for this.
Yes, I
She's in
definitely
the
got
background.
blamed for it. And
Yeah.
they stayed down there while I drove back.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they did.
Jay,
Oh,
Jay.
yeah, Jay.
good man, though.
Oh, yeah, that's the trap, isn't it?
Confidence.
When they rely on them to sleep.
And you
It's
can't, like, talk him out of it logically, can you?
No.
No.
Oh, kids.
I know. Who'd have them? Thanks, Jay. Tan is in Janebrook. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey,
Good, Tan.
Tan. Okay, why did you have to turn around? What happened?
Okay, so this didn't actually happen to me, but one of my very good friends, her and her husband are school teachers, so they set off on their school holidays with their 4 young children, and they on the way to Carragini, they get probably halfway there, which is about a 15-hour drive, and they had to pull over for a toilet break, and their rag doll cat was in the caravan with them. It had gotten in while they were packing up. No one had noticed. So they were about to turn around and head all the way back, but they got a family member to meet them halfway. So they only had to do about 6 hours back rather than...
Hitchhiking
Stowaway cat. Because you can't take a cat into a
No.
national park.
No, you
Shaun.
can't.
So,
old Carragini. Oh, my
No.
goodness.
and also, you'd just be worried it'd run away all the time.
No,
Like,
especially on the loose isn't good in Carragini.
No, you don't want that, Sean.
It's the Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
Cue the music. Oh, there it is. Spicks and Specks, 20 magical years of Spicks and
God,
Specks.
my
How
Lord.
good is that? An all-new platinum season of Spicks and Specks kicks off on Sunday at 7:30 on ABC TV, or you can catch it on iView. And she's been a stalwart of the show, the one, the only Myf Warhurst. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Nat, Sean, Ross. How are you?
We're wonderful,
Oh,
Myf. Absolutely. You know, we get to, we haven't spoken to you for a while, but we do get updates because Joel Creasy's right,
Of
always
course.
in here. We're having a chat, and he was telling us how
love him.
you guys are always talking, particularly with Eurovision, finishing a little while ago. You're just constantly on the phone to each other.
Totally. I mean, we've shared, too many things that friends should never share. Because we'd broadcast Eurovision in a tiny booth up above, thousands and thousands of people. It was very hot. And it's on a budget. It's SBS. We'd have to use the booth as change rooms. We'd have to
Yes.
change in front of each other. He's used my toothbrush. I know.
That's intimate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any
yeah.
secret-
We've been through it.
Yeah, I bet.
What do you know about Joel Creasy we don't?
Okay, what I do know about Joel is he is
one of the most generous people you will ever meet, and caring. I think, you know, people might think Joel is a certain type of personality, and you know, he can be very funny and very witty, and you know, he can be very sharp too.
Yep.
But he is so beautiful and generous and has one of the kindest hearts I know. And I say that genuinely as a friend. He's just the best.
All right, now bag someone out to make up for that.
Say something horrible.
Let me dig in.
It's Adam Hills, isn't it? Also one of the nicest people in the universe, isn't he?
I know. I've actually been really lucky, the people that I've got to work with, and all of this has happened by chance. Like I didn't know Joel before I worked with him, and I didn't know Adam and Alan. I knew Alan a little bit from various friendship groups in Melbourne, but Adam I'd never met before Spicks and Specks. But for the fact that we were teamed together, I'm so grateful 20 years down the track, because, you know, there's jobs you do and you work with people that, you know, you don't have that sort of friendship connection with. And, and it's fine, it doesn't fill your heart in the same way as it does when you work with people you love.
Well said.
And I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. And I'm so old, 20 years. What the hell?
I was just saying before, who would have done Nat, how many years have you done?
22 and a half here on this show, Myf.
Can you believe that?
I know where you're coming from, because the time goes in the blink of an eye, for starters. And at the outset, you never think, I'll still be doing this job in 20 years' time, do you?
Absolutely not. And look, clearly you and I were both 5 when we started.
Yes, I know. Child prodigies, Myf.
Unbelievable.
Yes, that's correct. That is correct. No, you don't ever think that it's going to be around for that long. And like I remember my mum, when the first episode aired, said, you better get a copy of that on VHS. That's how old I am. VHS was still around, because she thought it was going to get sacked, and because it wasn't very good, the first step. And she thought, well, better keep it for your files. So when you're job hunting, and it's oh my God, 75 years later, here we are.
So, Myf, you were studying broadcasting and stuff like that to be able to get into Triple J and then onwards. Nat was a chiropractor before she started.
It was a bit of a random transition career-wise.
God.
Yeah.
Good to know, Nat, because when I do come to Perth, I'll be looking you up first.
I'm no longer registered.
She's deregistered. There was a bit of an incident.
I just let it slide. Thank you, Sean. Myf, we were talking before about, because we work in radio, everybody assumes at a quiz night that we're going to be great in the music section. Do people think that about you, and do you deliver?
I can't do quizzes anymore, too much pressure.
Yeah.
Because people actually expect you to be really good. And I think, too, look, because Spicks and Specks has been around for so long, and there's an original team in the production side of it that are still there, they know the sort of things I can probably answer.
Yes.
So I think that helps, and I'm very comfortable. I'm like, they're not going to put stuff in I don't know, but you go to a quiz night, and it could be someone could have an expert area in, 2010s contemporary hip hop, of which I'm okay, but I wouldn't know it off the top of my head.
Yeah, but once we get past the Hilltop Hoods, I'm out.
Exactly.
Cosby sweater.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.